Today, we're diving into a really fascinating comparison. On one side, you have the incredible calculated power of artificial intelligence, and on the other, the concept of absolute, infinite divine knowledge. It's a showdown that really makes you think about what it even means to know something. So let's just jump right in with the big, bold question. Who has more knowledge, Allah or AI? Now, this isn't just a simple quiz. It's really a starting point to get us to think differently about the word knowledge itself. But here's the thing. This isn't really a competition. It's not about declaring a winner. Instead, we're using this comparison as a tool, a way to understand two completely different ways of looking at knowledge, one that's all about tech and one that's all about the spiritual. So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with a showdown. Then we'll unpack what we mean by AI's knowledge with walls. After that, we'll explore the idea of infinite divine knowledge. Then we'll look at the great divide between them and wrap up with what this all tells us about ourselves.
All right, so what are we really putting side by side here? Well, on one hand, you've got the finite, data-driven, measurable world of artificial intelligence. And on the other, this concept of infinite, absolute, divine knowledge as it's understood in Islamic belief. Okay, first up, AI. We talk about it all the time, almost like it's a person. But what's actually going on under the hood? What is its knowledge, really? At its heart, AI is an engine, a seriously powerful one. It chews through unbelievable amounts of data to spot patterns we could never see. And then it generates output that can be, well, shockingly good. And when you use a modern AI, it feels like it knows pretty much everything, right? It can write poetry, debug code, explain quantum physics, but that feeling of it being all-knowing can be a little bit of an illusion. And here is its biggest weakness. Its Achilles heel, really, time. An AI's entire world is built on the data it was trained on. So if something big happened this morning and the AI's last update was yesterday, it's completely in the dark. It's always chained to the past. I love this analogy because it just nails it. The amount of data an AI has is staggering, for sure. But it's still a finite number. The room might be enormous, but it definitely has walls. But wait, you might be thinking, doesn't AI learn and get better on its own? And yeah, it does. It can optimize its methods, get more efficient. But, and this is a huge but, the actual stuff it knows is still based on the data and rules we humans gave it to begin with. It's like a chef who learns to chop faster, but still needs us to give them the ingredients. And this right here, this is the real barrier, the hard wall. AI is a master of imitation. It can process information like nothing else, but it doesn't have a subjective experience. It doesn't comprehend what it's saying. It doesn't feel anything. All right, so we've looked at the finite digital world of AI. Now let's completely flip the script and talk about its conceptual opposite, the spiritual and the infinite. What does that kind of knowledge even look like? Now, when we say infinite here, we don't just mean a really, really big number. It's a totally different category of thing. It means something without limits, something that wasn't created or learned over time. It wasn't acquired. It just is. And this is where the difference becomes massive. Remember how AI has to look at the past to guess the future? Well, this concept of knowledge isn't about guessing. It's about a complete simultaneous awareness of everything, past, present, and future, all at the exact same moment. So this is a way of knowing where the future is as certain and clear as the past. It's completely outside of that one foot in front of the other timeline that we and the AIs we build are totally stuck in. Okay, so we've defined the two sides of this coin. Now let's put them head to head and really see the great divide between them. It really boils down to three huge differences. First, let's talk source. AI knowledge is a product. It's derived from data we give it. Divine knowledge is described as the origin itself. Second, the scope and time. AI is trapped by its past data. Divine knowledge covers everything, past, present, and future. And finally, the depth. AI just processes information. Divine knowledge is defined by having true, genuine understanding. So you see, what we're looking at here isn't just a difference in size, like comparing a puddle to an ocean. It's more like comparing a photograph of the ocean to the actual living, breathing ocean itself. They're in completely different dimensions. And once you get that, it leads to a really interesting final thought. If AI is our creation, what do its limits say about Well, our limits.
To really feel the scale we're talking about, check out this powerful analogy.
Imagine every single thing humanity has ever learned. Every book, every scientific discovery, every piece of art, all of it is just one single grain of sand. In this analogy, divine knowledge isn't just the whole beach, it's the whole universe that the beach is in, and the very laws that made the sand to begin with. And that really brings it all home. AI is finite because we are. It's built from our data, our logic, our frameworks. In a way, it's the ultimate mirror of our own collective intelligence, and that mirror has a frame around it.
So we keep pushing, right? Building smarter and smarter AIs, kind of hoping for that spark of real consciousness. But they still can't grasp the things that make us, us. Purpose, real feelings, a sense of meaning. So if the absolute peak of the intelligence that we can create hits this fundamental wall, what does that imply? Is the biggest barrier we face not just a lack of data, but maybe a hard limit on our own ability to truly comprehend everything? It's a pretty big question to think about.